Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on Kesselrun Resources' new YouTube channel. Just want to let you guys know what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be running through company updates, industry updates, answering any questions you guys got. So if you have any during any of this, don't be afraid to send them over. And of course, introducing members of the team. So who better to join us to kick us off than Director, President, and CEO, Michael Thompson. Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well myself as well.
Right on.
So kind of diving into it, first and foremost, tell us about your past experience and tell us what really makes you interested in this stuff in the first place.
Well, I went to the University of Toronto for geology, so quite a good university, quite a good school. A lot of prominent geologists in the industry came from there. And I've been working up in Northern Ontario since I was like 17 during the summers when I was in high school. First in forestry and then later in geology. So I'm originally from Toronto, but I love the geology, I love the bush, love the area, love the people up here. So it's a great place to work and live.
All right, so you're kind of an outdoorsman. Tell me how you got involved. Like, what was the entrepreneurial kind of spark for you there?
Well, I was working for Placer Dome, and then the Barrick Gold Corp takeover happened back in 2005, I believe. Yes, and jogging my memory a bit. And so I stuck with I was part of the generative and evaluations group, and I stuck with them for a little bit and decided to sort of go out on my own, and did a year of independent consulting. Trying to sort of figure out what I wanted to do. And then a couple of people that I worked with at Placer Dome, I sort of hooked up with, and then a buddy of mine from university, and we started a consulting company, Flatgate Exploration Consulting. And so that's been quite a driver since we started that in 2007 on really seeing a lot of projects, seeing a lot of juniors, what they do right, what they do wrong, and so that's really been the big catalyst for me to get into the junior stuff.
Okay, so you really got to get a bird's eye view over the industry as a whole and see what works and see what doesn't. So then tell me how you go from there to winding up as the Director, President, and CEO of Kesselrun Resources here.
So we were doing a project called the Hammond Reef Project, which is actually not far from Kesselrun's Huronium project. It was a company called Brett Resources. It was a granite hosted sort of target, a bit of a outside the box sort of thing for the rocks up in northwestern Ontario. And then Cisco bought Brett Resources out to get that project, and sort of started making us think maybe there's more of these granite hosted targets out there. My background is generative, with Placer Dome and that. So we sat down and scratched our heads and had a few beers and drew circles on maps and such. Came up with a project. It was open for staking. It was a pretty grassroots project, and that's Kesselrun's Bluff Point project. And so we didn't know what exactly we were going to do with the project once we staked it, and we started doing a bit of work to try to advance it. Had some good gold numbers, quite interesting geology, great alteration, signs of a big system. So we had some contacts in Vancouver. One thing led to another, and Kesselrun was formed.
All right, so you staked up the ground. You have a potential project here on your hands. Tell us what you're doing now as the president and CEO. Tell us what your role actually looks like on the day-to-day.
Well, so many of the viewers probably know, so that original project was Bluff Point, which we still hold. And then a few years later picked up the Huronium project, which is where we're concentrating our efforts right now. But day to day, I'm quite intimately involved in the logistics of the project, the targeting. I sort of have my fingers in a little bit of everything as far as the geology and running the project. I've got a great team. I've got great senior geologists, great project geologists on it. So they do most of the heavy lifting, but I like to still keep my fingers in it nonetheless. But and then now I'm doing the presidential duties. I'm telling the story. Working hard to get the market aware of what a fantastic story the Kesselrun and specifically the Huronium project is.
Yeah, Mike, it sounds like you're wearing a lot of hats right now. And last but not least, going back to just your personal opinions, I want to know, what are you most excited about when it comes to Castle Run, say over the next year or so?
Well, I think, we're advancing that Huronium project. It's a big gold system. It's an up and coming district. We fully funded for over 20,000 meters of drilling. So lots of results coming out. The past results that we put out in the last while have been quite impressive. So good things to come down the road for sure.
Wonderful. Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you everybody for watching. If any of you have any questions for Mike or anyone else on the team, let us know and we'll gladly dive into it for you. But until next time, stay tuned. We'll get you some more news over the wire as soon as we can. Mike, have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks. Cheers.